In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create a large bow for your tree using 2.5-inch wide wired ribbon. I've been promising this video. So to start, I have 4 yards here, and I'm going to take the first, probably 10 or 12 inches, and that's going to create the one tail of my bow. What I'm going to do is pinch all the ribbon between my fingers where I want to start my tail. You can see the tail there now. I'm going to create my first loop, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to push the ribbon in between my thumb and my first finger. You can see it there being pinched together. I'm going to this is a great way. See what I'm doing? I'm sticking my hand in and I'm spreading it apart like that, and when I do that, I'm twisting it back and forth. It fluffs out the ribbon. I love to do that. It keeps it nice and crisp, and it gives me an idea of how big my loop's going to be. Okay, let's continue. Now that I've created the first loop, I'm going to take the ribbon, see my hands, and I'm going to twist it half a turn. So what that does is it brings the right side of the ribbon here back up to the top. So I'm always working with the right side of the ribbon up at the top. So I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to make a second loop. And the way you can check your loop sizes is I bring the ends up like that, and see it's even. Okay, so now I'm going to take the ribbon again and I'm going to feed it in between my thumb and my first finger. I'm going to pinch it, and then I'm going to twist the ribbon. And what that does again is it brings the right side of the ribbon up. The twist is very important when making a bow. Okay, we'll make our third loop. Same length. I'm using my fingers as a guide, and I'm going to shove the ribbon in between my thumb and my first finger. I'm going to spread my hand again, make my loop full so I know it looks good, and I'm going to twist the ribbon. Again, I'm going to make a fourth loop, take the ribbon and shove it between my thumb and my first finger, and twist, and make my fifth loop. Now, don't worry that you don't get this the first time. I certainly didn't myself. But you'll find if you take a piece of wired ribbon and you practice this, it'll take a few times, but you'll get it. And once you get it, you've got it, and you're going to have fantastic bows. Okay, so I've got my loop. I'm going to twist, and I'm going to make my last loop. And I'm going to gather the ribbon between my fingers, and I'm going to twist. And that leaves me my last tail. So at this point, I'm going to take my wire and I'm going to lay it over top of the bow, and it slides underneath my thumb. And I'm going to bend the wire down and I'm going to secure it at the bottom. So I'm just going to move my first finger there, and I'm going to grab this wire with both my hands, and I'm going to twist it. And I'm going to twist it a few times, and what that does is it just keeps it nice and tight and secure. And you have to remember too, when the next things I'm going to do, you have to be a bit gentle so that you make sure that the loops stay in their shape and that they don't slide back and forth. But again, I'm going to spread my hands apart, and I'm going to go between each loop, and I'm going to puff it up. And now I'm going to pull this bottom loop to the front. That one's going to go away. I'm going to kind of keep that one up to the top. The bottom one is going to come to the front. This one's going to stay there, and I'm going to take the top loop and put it up with that one, and then you've got your 2 tails. And there's your bow. Now, when you put it into your tree, it's important that you slide the bow right into your tree. It's not going to hurt it. So what I do is I take my bow and I put it right back into my tree, and I'm just going to grab the end, because that's sort of what's going to happen when you stick it in. You're going to go, oh no, that doesn't look right. And what you do is you just move your loops around like that in your tails, and you'll see it'll create a fantastic look in your tree. And you can just move the loops, because it's wired, wherever you want them. And that's how it's going to sit in your tree. And that's, see how I'm squeezing the end? That's sort of like if it's stuck inside the tree, that's what your bow is going to look like. So really get your bow into the branches and let it sit there. It's going to be nice and perky like that. Well, I hope this helps you. And again, don't get discouraged if it isn't perfect the first time. It will happen. And I said, once you get it, you'll get it. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope you've learned something. Have a great day.